was sentenced to life imprisonment.
Mom said 120 years, bro. Mom can even live to 120? YouTube, what's good? Today we're looking at reactions of gang leaders getting life in prison. Hopefully we're gonna see some good reactions, bro. The thing is, gang leaders are supposed to be all tough and so maybe we won't see any reactions from them. We live every day, link in description. See you there. Reactions of gang leaders getting life in prison.
This is where you will end up, with your family and friends crying.
Yo, they all crying.
To serve the rest of your life in prison.
Notorious gang members have spent their lives immersed in the criminal underworld, committing heinous crimes and evading law enforcement at every turn. But now, they face the reality of spending the rest of their days behind bars.
Damn.
How do they feel about this prospect? Do they regret their choices and the path they've taken, or do they remain defiant in the face of their punishment? Join us as—
Damn, bro, look like, what's the name of the guy who owned Alvin and the Chipmunks? He looked like him a little bit. You know the guy? Alvin! I forgot his name, though, but he looked like him.
we delve into the minds of these notorious criminals and see how they react to the prospect of a life sentence.
Bang on! Courtroom consequences! Yeah! Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Today, I'm gonna be brutally honest. I'm not saying I regret it because, but
Damn, you don't regret that shit? Nah, you still don't have that shit, respect.
for a fact, if I could have changed some things, I wouldn't be here where I'm now.
George Gwel Thomas, easily one of South Africa's most dangerous gang leaders.
Damn! They got gang leaders in South Africa? I thought this one would have been like South American, like, you know, like that Central American area.
Thomas is a name that instills fear in the hearts of civilians and rival gang members. The name Geweld means violence, and Thomas doesn't bear the name for fun. Other gang leaders might be orchestrating robberies or murders from their hideouts, but not Thomas. The fearsome gang leader orchestrated about 4 murders from inside the prison. Thomas faced more than 50 charges, including 7 murders, 3 attempted murders, unlawful possession of firearms and ammunition, racketeering, housebreaking with intent to rob, and robbery with aggravating circumstances, amidst other gang-related charges. He was—
Damn, bro. Yo, that's a lot of charges, bro. Bro, yo, if he ain't getting life, I don't know, man. If he beats this, I don't know, man.
He was sentenced to life imprisonment for each of the 7 murders he was charged with. Out of the 7 murders, Thomas personally pulled the trigger in 3 and planned the other 4 from his prison cell.
Damn.
However, he was not alone. 6 of his gang members were also sentenced to life imprisonment for their crimes.
6?
Some of these crimes were carried out under instruction from Thomas while he was in prison.
Damn, so he full on like the puppet master in this. He got all these like puppets and shit, and he's like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like he playing around with the puppets, bro. He gonna do shit for him.
These crimes were carried out under instruction from Thomas while he was in prison. The rest of the accused received sentences ranging from 12 to 25 years in prison.
Damn.
The arrest and conviction were part of the state's—
Yo, bro, he look a little too calm, bro. Like, what do you mean? He dead ass chewing on gum, chilling in the court like he's not about to get life in prison.
commitment to preventing organized crime and crushing gang activities. The state has been under the scourge of the 26s and 28s, 2 of the country's most vicious gangs. The trial began in 2010 and covered crimes the gangs committed between 1999 and 2010. The accused persons have more than 150 charges against them. Thomas wasn't feared for nothing. 12 people linked to the case, half of them state witnesses, have been murdered.
Damn! They wiping out everyone who've been witnessing.
It was not surprising then that the public gallery was cleared, leaving only journalists to allow terrified witnesses to testify. The witnesses, flanked by a bodyguard, told the court that the gangs have repeatedly tried to assassinate Curtis Esterhuizen, a gangster from the rival Clever Kids gang. It was after one of these shootings—
They have a gang called Clever Kids? Clearly they're not f***ing very clever, are they? Or kids.
that Thomas was arrested. While he was in jail waiting to be sentenced, he made more than 30,000 calls giving orders to kill lots of people, including witnesses. Following testimony
In prison?
and a superabundance of evidence,
Bro was making calls in prison to slime motherfuckers out. Surely they tapped the jail phones. Don't they think that they would do that? I thought they did that.
Thomas and his cohorts were sent to prison. During the whole trial process, Thomas showed no remorse. In fact, he bore what seemed to be a smile on his face.
Yeah, bro.
Murder
Damn.
in the first degree. You, upon your oaths, say that the defendant is guilty on a theory of deliberate premeditation and a theory of extreme atrocity and cruelty. So say, Mr. Foreperson.
Lee Manuel Rios. Suppose you're convicted of first-degree murder in Massachusetts, United States. In that case, you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison without the option of parole.
Fez?
However, this terrifying prospect didn't seem to deter Lee Rios, who killed Kenneth Lopez, an 18-year-old, in March 2015. The teenager's body was found.
Did they say a 50-year-old girl?
Kenneth Lopez, an 18-year-old, in March 20.
Oh, and that's still crazy, dude. Like, what the f you doing killing women, bro? Like, holy shit. If you're a gang member, then like, what the f you doing killing women, bro? Go kill your ops or some shit.
The teenager's body was found on Dwight Street in late March. 24-year-old Lee Rios and his 20-year-old accomplice Jonathan Guevara are respected Latin King street gang members. Rios had a problem with Lopez and convinced the teenager that he would straighten things out. The court heard that Lopez and Rios shared a cab to the area where Lopez was killed. Assistant District Attorney Max Bennett informed the court that Rios fired 5 shots, but only 4 hit Lopez. 2 were in the head. Rios then collected Lopez's handgun from him. Rios was arrested when the police raided his apartment after obtaining a search warrant and murder warrant for him.
That's that side, bro.
While searching the apartment, the police discovered 2 loaded guns, one of which belonged to Lopez. The police also discovered a digital scale, over 10 grams of cocaine, marijuana packed for sale, and packing materials. In addition to his murder charges, Rios also faces charges of possessing cocaine with the intention to distribute, improper storage of a high-capacity firearm with a minor, and possession of a high-capacity firearm. Neither Rios nor his gang members showed any remorse in court for murdering Lopez.
That's a lot of charges, bro. But wouldn't you think in court you'd want to show remorse? Don't you think that if you're about to get life in prison, you want to like at least fake remorse and be like, guys, I'm sorry, and like lop it, so then maybe you'd get, I don't know, not life? Like, surely that's like minimum strategies that would be taught to you, you know? Even if you don't have remorse, bro, just fake that shit so then you get out of it.
Carpio brothers. Every parent's dream is to witness their child's growth and development, and maybe even dance at their wedding.
Yeah?
However, this wasn't to be for the parents of Kevin Oriana, an 18-year-old West Valley Occupational Center student who was stabbed multiple times in the head, neck,
We're at 18, yo! That's like pretty similar to my age, bro. What the fuck?
by Anthony Carpio in late April 2013. Kevin was at the handball courts on the Cleveland High School campus in Reseda when Anthony Carpio and his brother Michael attacked him. Initially, Michael, who started the fight, was the only one involved. But then, just like in a scene from a movie, Anthony brought a knife to a fist fight. And before you can say Jack Robinson, Anthony has stabbed Kevin about 10 times.
What?
Seeing that their opponent was down, the brothers ran into a vehicle driven by Michelle Pineda and bolted. Both brothers were members
Over like nothing, bro. It wasn't that deep. That's actually crazy, bro. Man, what just be doing shit? I swear to God.
of the Rockwood Street Gang. Witness testimonies showed that the fight started after they issued a gang challenge to Kevin, who wasn't a gang member. For her part in driving the gangsters, 21-year-old Michelle was sentenced to 2 years in county jail. 20-year-old Michael Carpio was charged with second-degree murder and sentenced to 15 years to life. In contrast, his 18-year-old knife-wielding brother was sentenced to 16 years to life on the same charges. Scott Marcus, the Los Angeles County Deputy District Attorney, read Kevin's family's emotional victim impact statement.
As a parent, we plan to dance at their wedding, celebrate a promotion, look forward to possible grandchildren. The last thought we would ever have is that we'll have to plan their funeral.
If the 2 brothers were remorseful, they did.
That actually is heartbreaking, bro. Imagine being a parent and losing your child, bro. Like, the person that you love the most, bro. I don't know how I feel, because, like, obviously I don't have children. I don't know what I feel like. But I don't really want to know what that feels like. I don't want to be able to relate to that. But, yo, that's fucking tragic, bro. I actually feel so bad.
a good job of hiding it because, as Judge Martin Herskovitz pronounced their sentence, they remained emotionless.
This is where you will end up. With your family and friends.
Damn, everyone crying,
as
bro.
you're let out of the courtroom to serve the rest of your life in prison.
Abel Gyos. When 28-year-old Simone Duran identified Alonso Quintana in a police lineup as a suspect during an investigation for attempted murder, little did she know that she was signing her death warrant.
Damn.
In retaliation for identifying him, Quintana, in connection with fellow gang members Abel Gallegos and Rene Rosales, lured her into a motel, kidnapped her, shot her multiple times, and killed her. As if this brutality was not enough, Rosales and Gallegos proceeded to pour gasoline on her corpse and set it ablaze.
What? Yo, how do motherfuckers even think of this shit to do? Like, yo, don't y'all have like bigger fish to fry than like random women, bro?
Following investigations, the murderous trio was arrested and charged to court with more than 30 witnesses testifying and an overload of evidence. It didn't take long before the court reached a conclusion and sentenced them. Before this case, Rene Francisco Rosales had been convicted 6 times on felony charges for this crime of tampering with a deceased human body, conspiracy to commit murder, being an accessory to a crime, and tampering with evidence. He was sentenced to more than 120 years in prison.
Damn!
Who the police identified as a chronic criminal, was sentenced to life imprisonment.
This was
Motherfucker said 120 years, bro? Motherfucker can even live to 120? Yeah, how do I tell you, bro? 120, bro? Might as well just be life, bro. You don't need 120. That's crazy.
horrific crime. I am struck by the casualness in which it was committed, the absolute disregard. This is the result. This is where you will end up.
Abel Gallegos was sentenced to life imprisonment without possibility of parole, plus an additional 163 years for second-degree kidnapping.
What do you need 160 years extra for? You just had life without parole, bro. What is the point of that extra 160? What if he like comes back or some shit?
Retaliation against a witness, first-degree murder with intent and after deliberation, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, tampering with evidence, tampering with a deceased human body, possession with intent to manufacture or circulate a controlled substance, among other charges. During their sentencing, the judge expressed shock at such brutality. Still, Abel and his cohorts showed no remorse.
Madness,
Lisandro
actually
Vasquez.
madness. That case is probably the craziest one yet. Especially that sentencing, bro. Like, what do you mean 160 years of life with no parole? That's nuts. How the f even serve that shit?
Lisandro and 4 other members of the MS-13 gang were charged with the murder of Raymond Wood. Lisandro and his group tricked the 17-year-old
Wait.
Lisandro Vasquez. Lisandro and 4 other members of the MS-13 gang were charged with the murder of Raymond Wood. Lisandro and his group tricked the 17-year-old Wood into selling the marijuana. They drove the teenager from...
17? Yo, what could a 17-year-old possibly do to you if you didn't need to do all this shit, bro? Like, what are we talking about, bro?
They drove the teenager from Lynchburg to Bedford County.
How do you get tricked into selling marijuana? Like, what is that supposed to mean?
And brutally massacred him. They knocked him
Why?
unconscious, strangled him, plunged the knife into him one after the other, and cut off his right hand. Lisandro was charged with and pleaded guilty to aggravated murder, abduction
Why?
for financial benefit, and gang participation. He was sentenced to life imprisonment for aggravated murder and an additional 10 years for gang participation and affiliation. 2 of his murderous gang members who joined in killing Raymond were sentenced to life in prison. The other 2 were handed decades in prison after being found guilty of murder. Lisandro showed no remorse for his crimes during the trial, although he came forward early and accepted the responsibility. What do you think about these gang leaders and their reactions in court? Let us know what you think in the comments section.
Yo, why didn't they give more context to the 17-year-old, bro? Was that just like a random kid, or like did something happen that led up towards it? Context would have been nice, bro. You know what? It's good to see these absolute sick men, monsters of society get put behind bars, bro. YouTube, if you enjoyed that, we live every day. Link in the description. Appreciate y'all watching with us. DNCN, peace out.